now because we are started. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, it's been a while since I've done
All good
this.
tabs, all good, loud and clear.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get rid of this. It's been a while since I've done this. So, right. Okay, guys, so welcome everybody. I hope you all have a pen and notepad handy. If you can hear my daughter in the background doing online learning, so we may be competing for sound. But if you need me to repeat anything, please just drop it in the chat. And yes, grand rising to everybody. Just drop it in the chat and I'll try and keep my eye on the chat. But if I don't manage to see it, just unmute yourself and let me know if you'd like me to repeat something. I'm gonna get started with the basics. You know, risk management is it's such a low-hanging fruit in trading. And I would really, 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 really encourage everybody to just really try and master this, because without risk management, you're really kind of just, you know, trudging along and hoping for the best, I would say. So for those of you on here, well done, congratulations on joining and taking this, you know, taking the opportunity to try and learn a little bit about risk management. Now, everything I know, I've learned from the IM platform. So it's just a matter of finding, and every single educator goes over risk management. It doesn't matter who you follow. From what I've seen, and I think I've only touched the tip of the iceberg with regards to educators that I watch and listen to, but all of them usually really, really stress out on, well, they don't stress out, but they really, you know, try and stress the fact that you should master risk management. And I think that's why I kind of took it on, because I know I'm the kind of person who will just kind of jump into something. And if I don't have a plan in place, you know, things will go wrong and then I'll say it doesn't work. And I didn't want that to be the case here, because I know trading works. It works a gem. Okay. All right, that's my daughter laughing. So I'm going to start with the basics, guys. And one of the basics is the Forex Factory. Okay. This is something that, in terms of your risk management, which currency trades, which currency pairs you want to trade, this is where you should start every single morning. Every single morning, before you even look at any charts, this is where you should trade. This is where you should look, sorry. And why should you look here? Because it tells you exactly what currency pairs to look out for. Which currency pairs may have news, which currency pairs have bank holidays, which currency pairs have, you know, very important news, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, I'll quickly go over this, but just to show you guys what it is, it's, as you can see over here. Oh, let me put this in the chat for everybody, forexfactory.com, first of all. Oh, there you go. That's forexfactory.com. You should have this on your phone. You should have this on your laptop. It should be the first thing that you look at before even looking at any trades, like I've said. So what it is that it's a place where they gather all the news regarding all the currency pairs that we may want to trade, right? The main currency pairs, as well as some extra ones. Like over here, you can see they've got China, but we don't trade. Well, I don't trade the Chinese currency pair, whatever it's called. I don't know, yen? I don't know what it's called. But anyway, we don't trade that. So I won't even bother trying to say what is this, but I do believe it's China, right? But what it does is that it will tell you which currency pairs to look out for that may have news, and which currency pairs have, you know, medium to, you know, important news, which currency pairs have really, really important news, and those will come up as red. The first thing you need to do is check your time. And I can see I'm on UK time for some reason. This should actually be on my time, but it's a good thing here because I'll actually show you how you can change it. So if I click, oh, that's not even UK time. I don't know what time it is. Okay, it's changed now. It's changed now to 11:08. I must have opened it up. I mean to 1:08. I must have opened it at 11. So just to show you guys, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. So I've actually set my time zone to GMT +3. It actually should be +2 because we're 2 hours ahead of you now. But anyway, and Nairobi is over there, so I know that it's the right country. And you can choose the format that you want. You can choose the 12-hour clock, which will show you AM and PM, or the 24-hour clock. So I've chosen the 24-hour clock. And once you've got that set, you can set that. You come here and you click on Save Settings, right? And it should change to the time that you're in. So whether you're in America, whether you're in the Caribbean, whether you're in South Africa, whether you're in France, it'll show you your local time. And why do you want it to show your local time? Well, basically because when you come to the calendar over here, right, it will show you all the news for the currency pairs that you want to be looking at. Now over here, you can see I've only got orange and red folders showing, right? And earlier on, you could see gray folders and yellow folders and so on and so forth. Now, the reason I've set it to show me the orange and the red folders is so that I can know the pairs, the currency pairs to stay away from today on Monday the 26th, right? Today's Monday the 26th and the euro pair had some news at 11 o'clock my time, okay? So this time has already passed, so it won't show me this little green button over here. So what I'm going to do, just to show you, is I'm going to actually show all the news for today's date, just so that I can explain a few more things. And in order to get all the different colored folders up, you come over here to this filter button over here, and you just click on that. And as you can see over here, it has all the colors of the folders that you could see on any given day. There's a red one, there's an amber one, or orange, there's a yellow one, and there's a gray one. So I had only selected to show the amber and the red, right? So I'm going to click on yellow and gray right now. And then I'm going to click on apply filters. These are the only boxes that I play around with. Anything else I don't touch. I leave it as it has been set, right? So these are the only ones that I fiddle around with. I don't touch anything else.
Excuse me, sorry, Tabitha. Sorry, can I just? Sorry, I didn't want to wait sort of to the end, but
it's okay.
Your screen, in terms of how many red folders you have, I just put it in the chat, but then I missed what you're doing right now by putting it in the chat. So, but your red folders, you have a lot more red folders than I do.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was saying. Like, so that's because I had selected, when I came to this filter button over here, what I had done is that I had selected to only show up my the red folders and the amber folders. So that's why when you look at it now, you can see just red and amber, red and amber.
So when I go back, I go into the filter and I press those. At the moment, they're all ticked. So do I tick?
Yes.
Yeah, like that? They're already ticked.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you what your Forex Factory probably looks like now. So I've ticked all the folders, right? So that let me just do that right now. I'll apply the folder. So this is what it looks like today, Monday the 26th, yeah? There's a bit more information than what you saw earlier, because now I've selected to show the gray folders and the yellow folders as well. So in so doing, I now know that there's a bank holiday in New Zealand and there's a bank holiday in Australia, right? And that's going to be taking place all day long, right? So that will tell me, okay, it's a bank holiday. You know, bank holidays don't usually affect pairs, but some people prefer to stay away from any pair that has a bank holiday because all the banks are closed. So you may not have a lot of movement happening in the market. But I don't necessarily, this is okay. I will still trade if I see that a certain country has a bank holiday, unless it's a major country, maybe like the US or the UK, you know, but that is entirely up to you and your trading style. Because I know that there are people who do still continue to trade on bank holidays, yeah? And these are just your normal bank holidays, not your worldwide holidays, like Christmas or, you know, New Year's and stuff like that. This is just for bank holidays. So this is probably what your page looked like when all the folders are ticked, right? So like I said, you can either leave it where you click on the filter, and you can either leave it where you can take out, because some people say, oh, I just want to take out the noise. I want to know what I need to look out for. And when I see so many yellow folders, it kind of confuses me. So what you could do is you could just take out the yellow folders on its own and click apply filter, right? And then that way you will still get the folders that are gray for the bank holidays for any country. As you can see on Thursday, there's going to be a bank holiday for the JPY in Japan, right? And on Wednesday, we've got a few red folders over here, but that's very early in the morning, you know. And then we've also got OPEC happening for all currency pairs on Wednesday. So if you know how to trade news, which I don't know how to trade news, what I do know to do with the information of an amber folder or a red folder is I will look at the time. I will look at the time in where I am, and I will not trade the euro for like an hour before this time over here and an hour afterwards. So if I see an amber folder and I don't really know how to trade, you know, the news does affect the currency pairs. Some of them may be going up, and all of a sudden after news for that currency pairs, it goes in reverse and it goes down. So what I was taught is that if you see an amber or a red folder, just try and stay away from the pair. There's so many other more pairs that you could trade. Just try and stay away from it around the time that the news is going to come up. Okay, so like from around 10, if I'm in any, I would say to myself, okay, if that's 10 o'clock in the morning and it's Monday morning, the markets have just opened up, I'm going to try not to get into any euro pairs, right? I'm just simply going to keep those until 12 o'clock, 12 midday. I can then maybe start looking as I'm preparing for the New York session to open. I could start looking for some euro pairs if I have any euro pairs that would go strongly with any of the any of the American pairs. Yeah. So has everybody got that in terms of how you can get this personalized to what you want to see? And there are some people who trade news. So when news comes out, they know exactly what to do, whether to buy, whether to sell, whether to continue with the trend, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So has everybody got this with regards to your Forex Factory and why it's very important to start off here? Why do you have, okay, I think fantastic, thanks Tegan. So I think I've answered, right, okay, all right, Rachel, great. So like I said, you can simply just change that over here, okay? And then another thing for any newbies that might be on here and you're confused with what time does the New York session open, what time does it close, what time does the London session open? If you click on market over here, right? You click on market over here and then you scroll, once it's open, you scroll down to this little thing over here that says sessions, yeah? This is up to today, I use this on a daily basis just to know what's going on in the markets, right? Because I'm still very new, I've still got a lot to learn. And, you know, sometimes I don't want to have to use my head so much. If I don't have to count, okay, so if it's 2 hours behind in London, that makes it 1, 2, 3. I can just come here and this will tell me when the sessions are on for the 4 sessions that we have: the Sydney market, the Tokyo market, the London market, and the New York market. And it makes it super duper easy. There's this green line over here that will tell you your local time. So it's showing 13 for my local time. But right here in the middle, it tells me that the local time in London is 11:17, okay? And as you can see, when I hover over it to the left over here, it tells me that the London session is going to end in 5 hours and 42 minutes, which will be 7 o'clock my time, right? So everything that you need is right here, right? And if I want to know what time the New York session opens, it would first of all tell me that it's 6:18 in New York in the morning. And they're going to begin in 1 hour and 41 minutes, which will be 3 o'clock my time, okay? And then again, if you want to trade the Asian market, for example, you just hover over here. It tells you what time it is in Tokyo. And it tells you that these sessions, when it's grayed out, it means that those sessions are closed. The trading hours are done, right? But it'll tell you that it will begin again in 13 hours and 41 minutes, which will be 3 a.m. my time. So if ever you want to know which sessions to trade and all of that, this is where I go. I know you can find other time converters online just by typing it in, but I just find once I've had a look at my calendar, I just simply come over here, and I also just make reference to it quite a few times, you know. So pretty soon the London session will overlap with the New York session, and then both of them, once the New York session opens, and both of them will be green. And then once the London session closes, it will go to gray, and the New York session will be open, will be green by itself. Okay, so this is very important, guys. I know it seems like really trivial, but it's very important to get into the habit of doing those trivial things over and over again for your success, because then you always know what's going on. You always know what's going on in the news. I don't know if any of you were trading last week and you saw what happened with the Canadian dollar on the day that the Canadian dollar had news, and it just dipped, you know. So, you know, this is why, because you're warned, you know. I think the Canadian dollar, depending on what you were trading, was uptrending. And then the news came out, and then it just really took a massive dip. So anyone who was caught in that, you can always explain why your trades have gone the wrong way, because there was news, right? And how did that news impact the trade? I haven't gotten to that stage yet, but when I do, trust me, I will share it with you, okay? So that's the first thing that you need to do. Any questions at this point? If there are no questions, just drop a 1. Oh, drop a 0 if there are no questions, and a 1 if there are any questions. Or just unmute yourself and ask if you have any. Anybody okay? Rolo, do you have a question, Rolo? Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, yeah, I did confuse you guys in the beginning, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to move on, and I'm going to move on to fantastic. I'm glad everything is clear. If you do have any questions, just jot them down or just ask. I'm going to bring you guys here to your daily interest calculator, right? Because every day you've got to have a plan. What are you doing? How much money do you want to make? I hear some people just say, oh, I just want to make $10 a day, or oh, I just want to make £5 a day. And that's fine, you know, but we're here to make money. We're here to grow our accounts, you know, percentage-wise. And like I said, a lot of the educators will tell you, you know, to master risk management because of the potential in growth that you can have once you've actually mastered this, right? So you can change your mindset from going to, oh, I just want to make $10 a day, to saying I want to make 2% a day, or I want to make 3% a day, or I want to make 5% a day. Okay, so I want to show you something really simple. I'm sure most of you have seen this. I'm going to drop this again in the chat so that everybody has it. Okay. And this is also something that I do once. I've done this like a few times to just get used to it. But once you're actually done doing your daily plan and how much you want to make on a daily basis, you don't need to come to the daily compounding calculator every day. And I'll show you why. So let's just go with what's here. Okay, let's just go with what's here. And there is $100 as your initial purchase amount, right? So that's what you start your live account with. And you have a daily interest rate in percentage. Let's change this to 5, right? So there's 5% as your daily interest rate. So every day you want to make 5% of $100. You want to add to this $100 by 5%, okay? And let's say we want to start off by going for 90 days, 3 months. Okay, because remember, we're new, we want to compound, and we all understand that compounding in the beginning doesn't really look like it's doing anything, but over time, it becomes a really nice number to look at. Okay, so let's just say for 90 days, you're going to try and see how this compounding goes. And how much do you want to reinvest from the 5% you'll be making daily? You can choose. Some people want to take out as they're making the money. Some people want to take out 50%, 75%. I would like to make my money multiply 100%. Okay, so I would usually select 100%. And for people who only trade Forex or HFX, we don't, as you know, the markets are closed over the weekend. So we don't trade over the weekends. But for anybody here who does trade crypto, you would click yes, right, to include your 5% there. So just for HFX and FRX people, I'm going to click no, okay? And I'm going to calculate now, right? So it calculates it for me, and it tells me that after 90 days of compounding by 5% a day, so by the Monday, the 30th of August, which is not far, Monday, it's not even 6 months, my £100 should have grown to £8,073.73. Okay, it goes further in to tell you that, okay, fine, your net profit was 7,973, but because you also had 100% that you didn't take out, you didn't say, okay, I've put in my £100, so I'm going to take that out now and just trade it with whatever, which you can do, you know, maybe like once you've made £500, you can say, you know what, I want to take out my money and then just let this money that I've made grow on itself. You can do that. Okay. But yeah, this is the amount of money that you would have made, and it gives you the date by which you should have made this, right? Now, making 5% a day is, especially with the platform that we have, with the educators that you can copy from, especially if you're really, really brand new and you're not sure what you're doing, it's pretty achievable, right? It's pretty achievable if you're using the right lot size. This can, 5% on £100 can be achieved, you know, in a day. If you're following the right educators, if you're following the right trading plan, if you know which lot sizes to use and everything. And we'll go into lot sizes next week. I'll explain to you how to make sure you're using the right lot size. Actually, we'll go a little bit into it today because I've got it over here already. Okay, so let's see further on what it tells us. It actually gives us a plan, right? So it'll tell us that tomorrow, since we're going to start, you know, our 30 days will start tomorrow. Tomorrow, we need to make £5 on the market. That's it. Once you've made your £5, step away from the market. Walk away. If you've got any running trades open, okay, you may want to take them to TP, but because you've made your £5 already, remember, you're doing this so that you can get more time freedom. You don't want to be hooked to your laptop or to your phone and you're constantly just looking at the charts. It gets tiring, you know. For some people, it's exciting and they can do it all day long. If that's you, hey, go for it, yeah. But if you're new and you also want to learn and you also want to have time freedom back and all of that, once you've made your $5 for the day on day one, close any trades that you have running. Of course, don't close the ones that are negative. Wait for those to maybe go back to break even or maybe like 10 cents in or whatever, and then close them. But, you know, don't be a slave to checking and making sure that you hit TP. If most of the trades you've taken throughout the day, maybe you trade the London session, so you do this during the London session. Maybe you trade the New York session and you do it during the New York session. Whatever the case may be, once you've made your 5%, come away from the charts and wait for tomorrow. And if you feel the need to trade some more or to press numbers because there's a certain educator that comes on and you want to take trades with him, just do it on your demo. You know, grow your demo account, challenge yourself on that side now. You know, but secure, keep your money. We're here to multiply what we have. We're not here to lose what we have, okay? So let's have a look at day 10 over here, Monday, the 10th of May. All you have to do is make £7 pounds and 76 cents. Doing the same thing we did on day one, whatever it is, whatever strategy it is that you follow, whether you're copying an educator, or whether you've mastered a strategy like the scanner source or ECC 11 or gold cup, whatever it is that you're doing. Pivots is amazing. I know a lot of people are having great success with that, whether it's HFX, it doesn't matter what strategy you're using. This is a plan that you need to have, okay? It simply tells you what you need to have. So basically, what you would do, you'd be like, okay, so how do I get this? How do I, because it's online. And before I show you how you can get it sent to yourself, does everybody understand how to follow this trading plan where it tells you what to do, how much to aim for each and every day, right? It may look like a little amount, guys, but look, these numbers are growing, yeah? These numbers are growing. After 1 month, you're now earning 20 pounds a day. That's just 30 days, guys. 30 days, great. I'm glad you're all getting it, right? And remember I said at the beginning that this is a low-hanging fruit. I mean, trading and mastering the strategy for me, it was up there, it was above risk management, because I was like, man, one day I win, one day I lose, one day I win, then when I win, one trade comes and wipes out everything. Why? Why is this happening to me? And and then I said, okay, look, if all these educators keep talking about risk management, let me have a look. And I found out why, because we get greedy. And I won't lie to you, I did. I felt greedy. I'd have a target, and then I'd see that some of my trades are still going blue and are all okay. And then news hits, but because I didn't check my Forex Factory, I don't know that these trades are going to be affected by the news. And then whoop, everything gets wiped out. And I'm like, but why didn't I wish I had, and all of that. Just throw one in the chat if anybody has ever been there, because I'm sure I'm not on my own. I'm sure, as I take a sip of water. Yes, Tegan, thank you for being real. Yeah, I've been there, I've done that, and it's not a nice feeling. So I decided to really, it's my money at the end of the day. I decided to master and to monitor and to figure out what it is that I was doing that was wrong. And another thing, I've mentioned going onto the platform and, copying the educators, following the educators. You don't have to copy each and every single one. In fact, I would suggest you don't copy each and every single one. Because every educator has a different strategy, right? So one educator may tell you to buy GBP, JPY, and it might be a swing trade, okay? And another educator, now something else that I'm learning is my correlation pairs, right? They may tell you to buy a negative correlation pair for GBP, JPY, and you'll find that, as you're making profit on GBP, JPY, the negative correlating pair that you've been told to buy is selling, right? And this educator maybe is just, is in a swing trade. So they're doing it for a longer time. And the GBP, JPY pair, maybe it's like an intraday trade. So you're going to be in it for a day or two. But if you've got one of them going blue and another one going red, you've got to know, and I think I'll do that next week. I'll do correlating pairs, just so that you guys also keep that in, because it is part of risk management. You've got to understand the correlating pairs and which pairs not to trade at the same time in opposite directions or in the same directions, because it can come back and bite you, okay? So this is your trading plan. I'll go through the actual trading plan that, I'll go through the actual trading plan that Manicure does next week and show you how you can input this. Okay. All right. Can you all hear me better now? I hope you can hear me better. I've just brought the mic up to my phone. I'm trying to get the house to be a little bit quieter. Okay. So as you can see here, let's just go every 10 days. Here on the 10th day, you're making 7 pounds and 76 cents. On the 20th day, just over here, you're now making 12 pounds and 64 pence. Sorry guys, where do you want me to repeat from? Sorry about the background noise. Just where do you want me to repeat from? Are you going to cut it? Cut it quiet now. Let me try and take out my mic and just talk. Is this better? Is it better if I talk like this? Can you hear me better this way? Okay, fine. So I've taken out my headset. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Was there anything that you missed that you'd like me to kind of go back over? Because I was just talking about how you can easily get to this trading plan and know what you're doing. You know, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So this is very handy to have. And what it does, as you can see, every 10 days, you can know exactly how much money you need to make, right? That's on the 10th day, on the 20th day, $12.64. On the 30th day, 20 pounds and 58 pence. On the 40th day, 33 pounds and 53 cents. And do you see how each day the amount of money you're making is going up? You've kind of also got to get used to making this amount of money. But remember, because you're following a strategy, or you should be following a strategy, you're doing the same thing every day. Nothing is changing because you're only going for this 5% up here, right? It's not like all of a sudden you're going for 10% and you're going for 20%. You're doing the same thing that you should be doing the same thing that you did on day one when you made your £5. The only thing that's changing is your lot size, right? Which I'm going to go into in a little bit. The only thing that you're changing is your lot size, but your strategy and how many pips you're going for, all of that should be the same, right? Some people like to go for 50 pips a day, right? And they reckon that if they go for 50 pips a day, they're able to make their 5%. You know, some people like to just go for the amount of money because this is what is guiding them. They're like, right, I've made £7 today. Let's say here on Monday, the 3rd of May, in a week's time, you make £7 and you're like, right, I'm out of the charts. I've done what I need to do for today. I'll do the rest tomorrow. And let's say on day 50 over here, right, you make £60, right? You've got trades running and all together they add up. You're seeing that your what's it called on your MT4. Hold on a second. Let me just pull it up so that I'm using the right. You know, your equity, right? You know, your balance might be showing, let's say your balance at that point should be showing 1,092 pounds, right? But on Monday, with all the trades that you've taken, when you're only aiming for 5%, you've already made 60% and your equity is showing 1,100 and something, right? So your equity is more than your balance because most of the trades that you're in, which should be less than 5 trades or even 3 trades at a time, you know, are adding up to more than £54. Yeah, thanks to your lot size, using the correct lot size and risk management and all of that. So you can close those trades before they hit take profit, or if you're very, very confident that they'll hit take profit, go ahead, because what you're doing is you're learning to trade and you've set those parameters. You've set those parameters because you know that it's going to hit take profit. Yeah. But if you're like me, I'll be like, hey, I've made my 5%, I'm out, because I want to get that 8 grand at the end of the 90 days. I don't want to regret and say, you know what, my equity was actually in profit. Akir, can you please help me with my charger? Just help me out, please. My equity was actually where it was supposed to be, and I didn't jump out because I was greedy and I wanted to hit TP. I wish. Oh my gosh, I've been there so many times that now I'm like, I'm not going to go down that road again. I'm not. So that's a little clue for me to do, but some people like to hit their TPs, and that's all well and good. Find a strategy that allows you to hit your TPs. Maybe scalp, go for your 10 pips and no. And if you're a swing trader, then you know that, whether or not you're in the red on Monday, you know that by Wednesday, because the market has to breathe in and out, you're going to get your pips. You're going to get your blue numbers showing up again. Okay. So use this, guys. And what you can do, and what I tend to do, you see over here, it says, send me my results. What you do is that you simply click on it and it comes up with your email address, you know, for you to enter your email address. So I'll put in my email address over there. So I can click on that and I can click on send my results and it will send me these. And so what I do is when I get the message on my email, right? You see, it says success, your mail has been sent successfully. When I get the message on my email, what I do is I take a screenshot of the first, like, of however many days I can take. I take a screenshot and then every single day I simply go to that screenshot and I look at how much I need to make on that particular day. Let me just put this in again because it's just refreshed. 90, 100%. And no trading at the weekends, right? So what I would do is I'd have a look at this section here where it has all the purple numbers. This is what I'm focusing on, right? And I know that once I've done my Forex Factory and I'm now ready, I know which trades, which pairs to trade and which pairs not to trade. I can open up my chart, I can open up the harmonic scanner and I can have a look and I can know where I'm going to go. And I want to make £5, right? Some people will count as 50 pips, right? It's 50 pips or whatever, so that, you know, every time you're listening to an educator and they say, okay, let's take it for 20 pips, you know that, okay, hopefully in this trade, I'm going to get 20 pips, but you may not, because remember, your entry point may not be the same as the educators, right? So that's why I prefer to go with the amount itself as opposed to the number of pips. Yeah, but whatever you're comfortable with, both work, you know, both work. I will go for the amount. I'll say, right, I want to make £5. And then, you know, a few days later, I want to make £7. And then a few days later, and so on and so forth, until I'm making £384 a day. And you've changed nothing. You've stuck to your strategy. You're disciplined. You're looking at the Forex Factory. You're following one educator who you know you want to trade with. And you've learned their strategy, you're able to take, you know, trades on your own because you've been disciplined, you've been committed, you know, and you've been consistent, and you're making £384 a day. And if you can do it with £5, because this looks easy, you can do it with £384 as well, because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm going on a bit because it's 22 now. I want to talk to you about, no, before I go on, any questions on this? Any questions at all? If you've got it, just type a 1 in the chat and I'll know that everybody's got it. Fantastic. Thanks, Amanda. Great, great stuff. Okay. So the next thing I would do, as you know, is I hope I haven't been locked out. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm still there. Okay. The other thing, we all know how to, I'm not going to go into how to get here and what to look at and what strategy to use and because we should all know that. And if not, I'm sure you'll get to find out, because this is all about risk management. So let's say now you're ready to trade. Okay. And you've come over here and you're on the 15-minute chart and you're looking at AUD USD. Okay, you know how to use the harmonic scanner. You've got a strategy that you're following. Either you're using price trap, or you're using scanner source, or you're using whatever it is that you're using. Okay, and you come here and you have a look. In fact, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you a trade that had passed, because that kind of makes it a bit easier. I think that was that Canada one. Yeah, you see Canada, this was Canada last week. Look at that. Okay, but before I go into that, let me go to where I need to be. Let me double click this. Okay, guys. So you know the harmonic scanner, we all have access to it. We have to look for the D. Sorry, I'm moving it about a bit. We have to look for the D as our entry, and then we go for TP1, TP2, TP3. Now, if you're trading GBP CAD, okay, you want to know what your lot size is going to be. When I was first learning how to trade, and I still hear a couple of educators saying this, they say that for every £100 or every $100 that you have, you should trade it at 0.0.
Another is very free. You get something when they for Zoom now like this. It has to do with harmonic scanner.
Oh, okay. That was not a question. Okay, thanks, Hafi. So where was I? Yes, you want to trade GBP CAD, okay? And let's say you've been trading for a few days and a few weeks and you're profitable and you're at maybe £375, okay? So what I would do before I come onto this, right? This was on the 16th of April, right? A few days ago, 10 days ago, 16th of April. I would come here to my position size calculator. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. Where's my chat gone? Okay, there it is. Okay, so I would come here to my compound size calculator, and it gives you all the information that you need to know what the best lot size is for you to take, right? So you have your currency pair over here, Euro USD. So you can click here and you can click all the different currency pairs. We're going to be looking at GBP CAD. Your account currency, I usually leave it as USD. You can put GBP if you want, but I'll just, for example's sake, I'll leave it as USD. Account size, we've said that our account had grown up to, is it 57 or 7? Well, put 57, 357. Risk ratio size. Now, this is something that is very important. When I listen to a lot of educators, because that's what they're there for, to teach me. And I hear a lot of them say, risk 1% of your account, risk 1% of your account. And you know, math and me, we were not the best of friends. I'm like, how do I know how much 1% of my account is? Well, this will help you over here, right? So you put in, let's say you're risking 1% of your account. I mean, 1% is pretty easy to figure out, but we'll work it through anyway. And your stop loss size. Now, you know, some people, some of the educators will tell us, if we're going for 20 pips, make it a risk to reward 1-to-1. So you're risking 1 to get rewarded by 1. So if you're risking 20 pips, for example, to make 50, I mean, you're risking 20 pips to make 20 pips, or you're risking 10 pips to make 10 pips, or you're risking, you know, so on and so forth. So it's equal. So let's say our stop loss was about 20 pips, because that's usually about the average, okay? So it's GBP CAD. I usually just double check GBP CAD, USD. I have £357 in my account. I want to only risk 1% of my account. I've calculated, and I know the educator told me that we're risking 20 pips. This contract size, I never change, right? I never change the contract size. This has to do with leverage. So I leave it alone. Please leave it alone as well, okay? And then I will click calculate, right? And it will calculate all that I need to know. This, when it says over here, money USD 357, if you look at it, it's actually 1% of $357, right? So this will tell you how much how much 1% of your account is. So me, what I tend to do if I'm risking 1%, I will look at if should my account or should the trade be in a pullback or affected by news or whatever may happen, and it's in a pullback and I'm in red, I will watch these numbers on my phone. I'll be like, hey, I know that 1% of 357 on this particular trade is £3.57. So once it starts getting to like £3, 3.10, 3.20, I may just be ready to take that, because it's something that I know on starting to trade on that particular day, I was willing to accept and not moan about and not cry about and not whatever. Just, I was like, okay, you know what? I know that I was risking only 1% of my account, right? So this is the amount, okay, that you need to know. This is the amount. And then it goes on to tell you what lot size you should be trading at over here at the bottom, okay? So if you're trading GBP CAD last week on the 16th of April, you should, and you had 357 pounds in your account, your lot size should have been 0.02 on your MT4, right? So let's go back to it, right? So your lot size, let me just put this down. Your lot size should have been 0.02 on this account. Now, back in the day, I would have actually thought I needed to trade at a 0.03 level, you know? But what this position size calculator does is that it protects your money, guys. It protects your money because if you remember, every currency pair has a different value, right? GBP CAD compared to, oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, they all give money, right? But compared to another pair that doesn't give out as much, you know, or if you would like, okay, maybe GBP CAD compared to Euro GBP, right? Let's have a look at Euro GBP. Let me move this, right? So it's 357 and 0.032. Let's have a look at Euro GBP, right? Look at the lot size for Euro GBP. You're being told to trade at a 0.01 lot size because it's a very volatile pair. Very, 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 very volatile. Your percentage is still the same, right? 1%, your amount is still the same and your risk is still the same. But because it's a very volatile pair, you're protecting your money. If I was trading back in the day and I jumped onto Euro GBP with my 357 and I was trading at a 0.03 level, I'd be risking a lot more of my money, right? I'll be risking a lot more of my money, but this position size calculator helps you to protect your money and to grow it properly and not be at risk. Don't ever put yourself at risk. So as you can see, this is very, very good to have, right? This is very, very, very important to have because it'll tell you whether or not you can take a trade in that particular pair with the amount of money that you have, right? And just, I don't have to think about compliance, but like, I mean, I started with a very small amount and I've since learning about this position size calculator, I've come back to see what I should have been trading at that very small amount. And a lot of the times my small amount would not even allow me to trade. It would tell me a lot size of 0. You know, like let's put it here, for example, £100. Right? And just to be real, yeah, I'll come back with a 0.00, you know, but not to say you can't start with a £100 account, because what I did is that I knew to be disciplined and I would trade at a 0.01, 0.01 up until I got to the point where I was able to you know, to be able to trade at a higher lot size. But I would just always trade at a 0.01 because it's possible. It is very, very possible if you have the right plan and you're going for a decent amount. You know, some people might even want to start with just 3%. Yeah, making 3% a day just so that they can manage their account properly. It's absolutely possible. Okay, so that there is how to check your amount. It said 357 here, 357, 1%, you know, on the different currency pairs. And depending on the currency pair that you use, your lot size will be different, right? So if you had gone for this trade last week on the 16th, it was to buy GBP CAD. I mean, that was a very nice trade. Look at it. It just went. I hope you guys make use of the harmonic scanner, right? The harmonic scanner is, I mean, it's continuously just giving out pips. Let's have a look. This is what USD CAD. You see? Oh, that's that drop that I was talking about last week. You see? It came to the entry point. You see the blue came to the entry point and then because of news. This candle is not a regular candle. but it was simply because of news. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Actually, it is, because it had to do with you being able to check your Forex Factory. So if on the 21st of April, you knew that there was going to be USD news, right? You understand how to trade news. You could have eaten this. You could have just, oh my gosh, you could have. And this is on the 15-minute chart, guys. Look, 15 minutes, just go. Okay, but that's if you know how to trade news. I don't know how to trade news. I knew it was happening. I saw it happen. I was told to stay away, and I did. And then I saw it happen. I was like, whoa, you know? So, you know, I have a goal now. I want to know how to trade news. Okay, guys, what else is there? I think that's it. I did want to go over pip calculations, but because of time, I don't want to get into that. I want to respect everybody's time. We've got about 7 minutes, and I don't want to just touch on it a bit because it would have been nice.
Sorry,
time, but we can come back.
Sorry, Tabitha, sorry. You asked if we had questions, and then we kind of moved on. So there's like everybody, lots of people put ones in there, myself included. So I was sort of waiting until you got to that point. So yeah, I don't know if you want to open up the floor, but I know that I've got a question.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I do have a couple of questions. I wanted to understand when you use the compound plan. Let's say you did, I don't know, 30 days, and when you did that, how do you transfer that money away from your account so that you can maybe start a new one?
So you mean like if you do £30 here for 30
like
days?
If you do, no, let's say you did £100 for 30 days.
Okay.
Say.
All right.
Or 90 days then, let's say. If you wanted
okay.
To.
90 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then let's calculate that. That was our original, what we started off with.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So your question was like, after the 90 days, what do you then do?
Yeah, so that you can take it away from, you know, like you're not thinking about that money. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you can sort of think about what's next. What I don't want to be doing is playing with the same money that's there. Understand what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I get you. Well, that's totally up to you, you know, because it's your money. So what you could do is pay yourself, you know, maybe take, you know, $2,000 for yourself and go shopping and do whatever, pay bills. I don't, you know, do whatever you want to do. And then maybe put half back in. So maybe you could say like, okay, I'm going to put 4,000 back in, right? Just so that I can continue trading at those higher. Remember over here, you've got those really nice numbers that you're trading with. So with about £4,000 over here, you're making like £194 a day because you want to continue doing that, right? Mm-hmm. You want to continue making money. You want to continue multiplying what you already have. Yeah. And of course, the more that you have in your live account, the more money that you can get because you're compounding on a daily basis, right? So you could decide maybe to just put 2,000 back in. You could decide to split it halfway down the middle and put half of it back into your trading account and then do whatever you want to do with the other half. Sure. You could decide to only put in 1,000 back in. It's totally up to you and what your plan is for your money.
So I just thank you for that. I just want to, I'm conscious of everyone's time as well. So I just want to, the second part of that question also is when you went to my FX book, and you used the 100, like, you know, you put 100 in there. Let's say you've gone in and put 100, you know, you showed us it was 0.4. Yeah. And that 1% meant it was £1. Right. Does that mean you have to do 5 trades a day?
Yep.
Then to get that £5 into your compound plan?
No. What it means is that, and that's a very good question. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, you should, you know, if you decided to trade at a 5% a day profit, obviously you should be prepared to lose just 5% of your account. So what it means is that if for every, you want to give yourself space and room. So for every single trade that you might open, you want each trade to risk only 1%, right? So if we have a look at what 5% of 100 actually is, right? As we all know, it will be £5, okay? It will be £5 over here. So what it is that if you're going to be risking one trade at 5%, this is what you should be prepared to lose for that 1%, for that 5% ratio, right? But remember, you're taking 5 trades, right? So this could be the only trade that you take for the day, right? It would be the only trade that you take for the day, right? So you would calculate that and you know that, right, that would mean that I'm going to be risking £5. But if, let's say, for example, because this is a very volatile pair, let me go for, yeah, is it decad, maybe? That's not so bad over there, right? If you were to go for 1% over here and calculate that, right? As you can see here, it would, you'd have to have a bit more money to trade the NZ decad. But if here you'd be losing $1, you see, 1% is one of 100 is $1, you see, or £1, should I say. So 5 of these would add up to $5, right?
So you would take 5 trades then?
You would take 5 trades. It's recommended that you can take 5 trades. But what I would suggest, because you want to really protect your money and you want to protect your spread and you want to protect your equity and you want to protect so many things, is you can take 3 trades at once. Yeah, you can take 3 trades and give yourself room, give your account room to breathe. And once one of them closes off, you can then enter another trade. You know, I personally like to have no more than 3 trades open at once. I've learned the hard way. You know, I've learned the hard way. And I would say if you can have just a maximum of 3 trades open, especially if you've got a smaller account, you know, and I started with 100 and I was putting in all the trades. I was like, I'm taking that. And the next thing I knew, I was like, what? I can't take another trade. Why? You know, why can't I do this? And it was simply because I didn't understand that I needed to give the trades that I had running time to breathe, time to pull back and then come back to their position, you know, go above and hit my TP, time to pull back. So that's what I would recommend, you know, just, we're not here to gamble, you know, we're not here to gamble. Patience is key.
But you could potentially do it at 5% and just take 1 trade a day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're completely confident that you can take that trade at 5%, then go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that other people had questions. I closed the chat for a bit. Any questions from anybody else? I've got 2 guys. Oh, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, no question.
Any questions from anybody else?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Tabitha. But thank you so much. I really needed to refresh. So that's really been helpful to me. So thank you for today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're very welcome, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I've kept you here a little bit longer. Sorry about that. So I think with that being said, I'll leave it here. But next week, I'm going to go over correlating pairs and what you need to be aware of, and also your trading plan. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all so much. See you next week, and do master risk management. It's important.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you all too. Bye.